What's up, you guys? Let's talk Dynamite. We started off with Renee Paquette with our scumbag MJF, and she asked him, with all the enemies you got up in here, how are you going to find 3 other people that are willing to get in this 8-man tag with you against Bullet Club Gold? Now, he's not sure who is willing to tag with him. Well, actually, it's more of a who he's willing to work with. Now, he decides he's going to call up his bestie, Adam Cole, calls him up, and Adam Cole is saying all these wonderful things about MJF, and really, he's our scumbag. I don't want to hear nice things about him. I wish he was heel again. Since that's not the case, we do have Adam Cole, who says something interesting. He's like, I believe you should take Samoa Joe's offer and have this like friendship with him where he got your back type of situation. And I'm just like, you know what? Adam Cole, for once, I agree with you on something. I do believe that he should also take Samoa Joe's offer. Now, Adam and MJF has had enough chit chat. MJF needs to go find these 3 partners so that he can have for the main event, and he leaves. But then here comes Roddy in the Kingdom, and Adam is immediately annoyed with Roddy, and he ends up hanging up the video chat. And then we get a like 2-3 second video of this masked person with a double mask, and that's pretty much it. And to be honest, I'm kind of like, I do want to know who it is, but I just feel like they need to do something interesting. There needs to be another attack. There needs to be something, not necessarily to give a clue, but something to make this more interesting. The first time that we seen this and they were attacking Jay White, that was interesting. But since then, all we see is like, 2-3 second video of this masked person, and they're doing absolutely nothing. I don't think it's entertaining at this point. So they got to do something to switch it up. But either way, I'm glad they're still showing that this is actually still a story going on. But they need more going on with this devil mask person. All right, so first match of the night, we had an international title on the line. Don't act brand new. This is what they always do. It was on the line, Orange Cassidy versus Claudio Castagnoli. Now, when Claudio comes out, he's wearing this new BCC t-shirt. It says "Be Violent," and they get the cutest little bunny on it. It's just, it's like, it doesn't make sense, but it's cute. I'm buying it. I want it. Anyway, he comes out and he looks pissed the fuck off. Even Orange Cassidy's like, okay, let me get out the ring real quick. He looks mad. Let him blow some steam before I get my ass whooped. Now, the match starts, and right off the bat, Claudio is in control. That's how we like it. We like BCC on top of things. Now, before the commercial break, though, Claudio, he throws Orange Cassidy onto the barricade, and he looks like he really hurt his arm. The doctor and the referee are attending to him, seeing if he's okay. Now, while he's laying there in pain, here is Claudio giving him those baby kicks like how he likes to do to everybody else. And I know at that moment, Orange Cassidy is feeling annoyed and infuriated, just like how I feel when he does that stupid move. And now here he is getting a taste of his own medicine. Now, while all that is happening, we have Wheeler Yuta, who was already ringside with Claudio. He comes into that area, and then here comes Hook out of nowhere, looking like he just got let off the bus. And I'm just like, okay, Hook, what are you doing here? Now, Hook is getting into a little bit of an altercation with Wheeler Yuta, and the ref is like, all right, both of y'all get your asses out of here, because this is a distraction, and the title's on the line, and I can't be watching all this foolishness, so you guys go. They go to the back. Then we get into commercial, and during the commercial, they're still getting into some altercation backstage, and then after the commercial after the commercial's off, we get a chance to see what was going on. So the match is still going on, but then we have like another little picture in the picture, and it's Hook and Wheeler Yuta backstage. The security guards are actually doing what they're getting paid to do, which is keep people away from each other. And Pat Buck was there too. Now they're keeping them away from each other, and here comes Hook shoving Pat Buck, and I'm just like, wait, what? You could probably put your hands on the security guards, but you can't put your hands on Pat. Now, Pat ends up kicking him out and telling him he got to leave the fucking building for putting his hand on somebody who got some sort of authority up in here. So he had to go. And Taz on commentary, and Tony Schiavone was like, well, who raised him to be like that? And crickets from Taz, right? So then Here we go, back to the ring, and Claudio is really putting a beat down on Orange Cassidy, and it looks like he might even take the win here. But then Orange Cassidy, he gives Claudio a orange punch and a beach break, but that was not enough. And what happened is that Claudio rolled out the ring so he can get a little breather while the referee counts to 10, and by 9 he makes it back into the ring. And, Claudio could have lost at that moment, but he gave himself a little bit of time to breathe. Now, a few more minutes, Orange Cassidy ends up winning the match. And I'll be honest with you, two things. One thing that I've actually complained about before is that it's not Claudio's fault, but Claudio's a tall, lean guy. And most people he's in the ring with are a little bit shorter than him or whatnot. And some of these moves that they try to execute on Claudio just don't look great for TV. And I just feel like you have to think of, okay, we're doing this on TV. Certain moves are just not going to look so great on certain people. Let's just do something else. Like a hurricanrana on somebody as tall and lean as Claudio just don't look right. So these type of stuff, like, y'all got to keep away from that, because I just feel like it takes away from the quality of the match. But anyway, I didn't care for how the match ended. It just felt too easy for Orange Cassidy. This is Claudio Castagnoli we're talking about. It just felt too easy. Anyway, Claudio's distraught, and here we have Orange Cassidy leaving, but then Moxley come out from the crowd. He gets into the ring. Orange Cassidy has a death wish, so he gets back into the ring, and he gets a beat down from Moxley, and Claudio just standing there. When the security come try to break it up, that's when he goes and help and beat up on the security guards. But Moxley just continued to beat down or whatever, and they end up leaving. Now, later on, Moxley comes back and he says that after a long promo, he goes, well, I'm going to have a match with Orange Cassidy, Full Gear, and I think this time he's actually going to take the international title. Please, please give him the title. So now we're back from the commercial break, and MJF is standing in front of Kenny Omega's locker room. He looked like he's going to ask Kenny for some help. He knocks on the door, and Chris Jericho opens the door, and he's like, is Kenny in here? And Chris Jericho slams the door in his face. How rude. Now, just as he's walking away, here comes Wardlow. He shoves MJF onto a wall, and he grabs him up, and he says, you had took everything away from me, and I'm going to get you, but I'm going to get you when you least suspect it. And I'm telling you, the tension between those two, I was just like, whoa, what's going on here? I wish one of you guys would snatch me up like that. I was feeling it. Now, I love the fact that he did not attack MJF at that point and making it seem like he's want to go for the element of surprise. So now MJF have to constantly think, is Wardlow behind me? Is Wardlow to the side of me? Is Wardlow going to pop up when I'm using the bathroom? Like, I like that, because now they're just making the title feel so much more important, and they're really making things a little bit more personal between MJF and Wardlow. I love it. So up next, we had the 6-man tag titles on the line. We had the Elite versus the Mogul Embassy. I'm not going to lie. Mogul Embassy got a new song for their team. I don't like it. I was happy about this matchup coming up, and I was like, the only way that this would make sense is if the Young Bucks and Adam dropped the titles. So when the Mogul Embassy come out, there's no Prince Nana. Surprise, surprise. But we shouldn't be surprised after he broke into Adam's house. Like, why would he want to be right next to Adam? Now, Adam Page, at first, is aggressive as fuck, because obviously they broke into his house, and he's feeling some type of way. He's like, hey, Prince Nana and Swerve, they came in my house, they fucked up my stuff, and then Swerve is talking to my baby. I don't think so. So he is super aggressive at first, and I'm liking that. And I'm like, you know what, this is what Hangman needs, because sometimes to me, he just comes off like a softie. Now, I thought this was decent until towards the end. So while the match is going, we do have Swerve and Prince Nana. They come out, and they're taunting Adam Page. And Adam Page fell for the bait and ends up leaving this match following Prince Nana and Swerve. Now, we do get a chance to see that they get physical back there. So they're like literally fighting Swerve and Adam, and their security and everything, keeping them away from each other. Like, things are getting super heated between them, and I like that. Now, what I don't like is what happened from here. So now the Young Bucks are on their own, and to be honest, I can give two shits because I really don't care about them. But the Mobile Embassy takes the win. They do their normal thing that they do with their whole little combination as a trios or whatever. That's what they always do, so it doesn't surprise me. However, it felt so freaking easy. It just felt like they were handed the win. And I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't like that. And this is what I've been saying. In Ring of Honor, it's one thing. And then when they're on AEW, it's a totally different thing. And I'm just like, no. In Ring of Honor, these guys are freaking monsters. And they're killing everybody. And then on Ring of on Dynamite, it's just, I don't know. I did not like that at all, how the whole thing finished. It just gave them the title pretty much. And you know what? I shouldn't be mad because that's what I wanted anyway. I did not want anyone who's not really in Ring of Honor to be holding any Ring of Honor gold. And I don't know, whatever. Now after the match, Nick Jackson, or is it Matt? No, Matt. He's mad as hell. And he's swinging chairs, throwing tables around, huffing and puffing like a little schoolgirl. And I'm just like, why does it matter? You know, you guys lost. Y'all wasn't doing anything with the title. And like a few minutes later, I went on Twitter and here's Ricky Starks who posted that, you know, don't forget that the Young Bucks has their number one contender for the AEW tag titles. And I'm like, damn, they might get us with that. And I hope that's not the case because I want to see more from Big Bill and Ricky. So yeah, they still got an opportunity for gold and that sucks. So now we have MJF. He's in front of Darby Allin's room and he takes Darby's sign and he writes emo bitch on it and puts it back on the door. And I'm just like, yes, that's my scumbag. That's what I like to see. Now he turns around and here comes the Acclaimed. They got a sign about him wanting to work with him for the main event or whatever. MJF sees this, but he's just like ignoring them, like whatever. He's out of there. Now the Acclaimed, they're like these lingering ghosts that are in your house. You just signed the lease and you can't break it at this point. So now you gotta learn how to coexist with them, but ignore them at the same time. That's the vibe they're giving off here. Now we have Adam Copeland to the ring. He is with Tony Schiavone. They're having a nice feel-good moment with the crowd and all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I'm such a Scrooge. I don't care about that. I want to see the good stuff. Now, Adam Copeland is like, I know y'all want to know if I'm going to be tagging with Sting and Darby Allin at Full Gear against Christian Cage and Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne. Before he can even answer that, Father of the Year, Christian Cage, comes out with his sons, Luchasaurus and Nick. Now, he is saying that whether or not Sting likes it, he's going to retire Sting at Full Gear, so we don't even have to wait for Revolution, because it's definitely happening way sooner than he would like. And then he also says Darby Allin is basically not even in one piece at this point, so that's going to be easy to deal with in this match. But Adam Copeland, let's not bring up those neck issues you've been having for the past 10 years or so. And if I were you, I was trying to stay away from this mess, because if you get involved, I'll end up snapping your neck. Now, Adam, he seems to be taken aback by this, and he's just like, you know, whatever. And here comes Christian. He goes and he says, you know what? Boys, let's give him a preview to Full Gear. So here comes Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus getting in the ring, but Adam Copeland is ready for their asses, and he quickly diffuses the situation, and then Christian Cage get in. And now Christian's in the ring, and I guess he's a little bit surprised that Adam pretty much took care of them quickly. Then here comes Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne coming in the ring. Luchasaurus attacks him from behind, and Nick Wayne gives him a cutter, and I'm just like, damn. Now, you guys already know the drill. When something's happening, Sting, Darby Allin, they're coming out. We just gonna have to wait for them. Now, they did come out at some point, and they helped even some things up. And while Christian was attacking Darby in the corner, Christian turns around and Adam was already waiting for his ass, and he gives him a beautiful spear, and I'm loving it. Now Adam gets on the mic and he says, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm tired of your bullshit. I'm tagging with Sting and Darby at Full Gear, and I'm coming for all y'all asses. And I'm just like, holy shit, I'm loving it. Now look, this was a feel good moment for me. I really did enjoy it. Obviously, I'm on Christian Cage's side or whatever, but I still feel like I liked everything from everyone in this moment. However, Full Gear is still a little bit of a ways away, and I feel like maybe, just maybe, they could have dragged this out a little bit longer with Adam. However, since they already got to this point, they're going to have to do something before Full Gear to make things a little bit more interesting before the pay-per-view. Either way, I'm really looking forward to this match. I can't wait to see how things get really ugly between Adam and Christian. So up next, we have a announcement from Tony Khan. And Tony Khan does not disappoint with disappointing us about what his announcement is. And it's that they're going to be selling tickets for All In 2024, and the tickets will be going on sale on December 1st. I don't give a damn about that. Even if I was going, I still don't give a damn about that. Come back and give us an announcement when it's actually something of importance, Tony. Like you struck a deal, streaming deal with somebody, and pay-per-views are going to be for a discounted price or something. That's what people want to hear. You keep coming on with things that are just so irrelevant. Last time, y'all remember the CM Punk thing? It was an announcement about an announcement about another announcement. It was just ridiculous. And this time, it's just like, wow, this is so underwhelming. Tony Khan, stay home. Up next, we had the Golden Jets, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. Now, they were sent by Don Callis to beat their asses. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't care about this. We did have Don Callis and his whole family there with the commentator. So Don is talking to commentary, and the other three are standing behind everybody else, just looking like really, really strong men, and I like that. Now, the match itself, it's decent. It is what it is, and I kind of felt like I understand that Uncle Don asked them to do something for him, but it still felt like something was missing in terms of a story. Inserting Matt and Angelo in this, so something about it just didn't feel so great to me. The match was decent, and yes, Matt and Angelo do resort to cheating to try to win. They do use Chris Jericho bat and ends up hitting Chris with it so they can get the win, but that did not help them secure a win, and they end up losing. Now, Uncle Don gets on the mic, and he tells Chris and Kenny that they want to have a street fight. So 8-man street fight, whatnot, with these guys. So it's going to be Sammy Guevara. Well, they don't say Sammy, but obviously it's Sammy because he's part of the group. He's just been injured for a while. So it's going to be Sammy, Takeshita, Hobbs, and Kyle Fletcher. Oh, Kyle Fletcher, he got a whole new look or whatever in the group. It's cute. It's whatever. And Kenny Omega's like, oh, okay, well, we got our people. And he's like, oh, I'm going to call up Kota Ibushi. You know, he always down for a fight. And I'm just like, Kenny, you're not going to call me? No, I can't help you with the fight, but can you call me for other things? Like, that would be really cool. After I professed my love to you, you're still not answering my calls. Now, here comes Chris Jericho saying, oh, we got a fourth person. As somebody who's even bigger than Hobbs. And when that person comes out, it's Paul White, also known as the Big Show. And I'm slightly underwhelmed by this because I kind of knew this was coming, but I kind of was like, I don't know how I feel about this. We haven't seen Paul in a match in a really long time. When he got hired by AEW, he was actually injured. So we haven't really got a chance to see much of him, and he's been really, healing from injuries these past few years or whatnot. So I'm not really sure what he's going to give. He does end up putting a little bit of a hurt onto Kyle Fletcher, but it's not enough. I want to know, like, how is he going to go into this match? Maybe we'll get a chance to see him in a match prior to this, but I'm just not too sold on him being here because we just haven't seen much of him in the past few years. So I don't know, just a little underwhelmed. So now Renee Paquette is in Kenny Omega's dressing room with Chris Jericho. And in the background, you see the crybaby Bucks. They're back there crying, throwing a hissy fit for whatever reason. And she's basically talking about the partners that they're going to be having for this street fight. And then here comes the Young Bucks getting in front of the camera. And they're like, oh, so Kenny, what was the point of the Elite getting back together when you're going to pick other people to be part of your team? Like, we literally right here, you could have picked us. Now, they're crying or whatever, and Chris Jericho's like, bitch, get out the camera shot. This is our camera time. You know, you didn't get picked, you didn't get picked. And I'm just like, right, Chris, like, what are they crying about? They just lost the fucking titles. Nobody want to pick you as partners. Now, look, I get what they're saying about the Elite getting together or whatever, but to be honest, when it comes to me, I'd rather see Kenny on his own. We got a chance to see Kenny doing shit on his own with MJF. And that's how I love to see him solo. But he's doing the thing with Chris Jericho. So it is what it is. And we're going to get a 8-man tag. And unfortunately, the Young Bucks are going to insert themselves into the AEW tag title picture. Ugh, over it. Up next, we had the women's title on the line, Hikaru Shida versus Willow Nightingale. Now, they mentioned on commentary that this is Hikaru Shida's third title defense in 7 days. And I am just like, whoa. That is way more than what Saraya did with it for like, what, a month or so? That's insane. Now, look. Watching this, I'm looking at Willow, and I'm really enjoying her in the ring. And it took me back to like last year where I was saying she's green as grass. She's just not doing as well as I would like her to do. And she has grown so much. And I'm like, yes, queen, you have improved. You are doing so much better. And that's what I love to see, someone to put my fucking foot in my mouth and say, girl, shut the fuck up. She's doing good right now. And I really enjoyed how much she has grown on me. Now, I really do enjoy this match. I do feel like at times they could have had a little better chemistry, but Willow being her usual bubbly self is what I really liked here, that it didn't kind of play off that character where, you know, she got sprayed with the mist and maybe she's going to turn or whatever. I just liked her being herself. Now, with that being said, I think Willow may be one of those few wrestlers that can go their whole career without turning heel. And that might be the best case scenario for her. At least that's what it looks like right now. So at this point, I'm kind of like, with the storyline with Sky Blue and them, I'm kind of thinking she doesn't need this. Like, she's fine the way she is. Maybe Sky can benefit from turning heel if that's the case. Now, like I said, I did enjoy this match. However, Hikaru Shida wins, and that's exactly what I'm expecting here. While I feel like Willow could be a great champion, she still got some ways to go. But right now, Hikaru Shida is an absolute workhorse, and that's what I love to see. She's working really hard. I really wish there was like more of a story going on with her, more of a personality going on with her outside of the ring. But we get, once again, Toni Storm, who comes out, and she's pretty much stealing the spotlight from Hikaru Shida. And Hikaru Shida is annoyed, so she leaves her title in the ring and goes and gives Toni a running knee to the face, and then ends up chasing her to the back. Now, when that happens, the light cuts off, and I'm thinking, oh, technical difficulties, because it really does feel like that at that moment. But then it turns out that when the light comes back on, it's Julia in the ring. She's standing behind Willow, and Willow looks like she's expecting it, so she turns around kind of knowing she's there, and it seems like Julia is giving her like an invitation to the dark side. And I'm like, Willow, if you don't go, I'll go, you know, like, I don't mind. Now, here comes Sky Blue. She comes out, and Sky looks like she may even turn on Willow. But what ends up happening is that she spits out a blue mist onto Julia, and I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting that she was either going to turn on her, but not the whole mist thing. And Julia is absolutely upset about it. She rolls out the ring, and she is not happy. So this storyline is picking up, and I'm really enjoying that we get another story going on with the women's division. That's exactly what they need, and I'm loving where this is going. Now we have MJF. He is backstage with the Acclaim, and he is down on his luck. He cannot find anybody who's willing to work with him. And the Acclaim are just like, hey, hi, we're here. We'll work with you. Now, We have Max Caster with a garbage bag, and he's like, and if we're gonna be partners, you gotta wear this gear too, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, what? And then he shows him the gear, but we can't see it, but he shows him what's in the bag. MJF is not impressed, and he just ends up walking away. And he goes, there is one more team that could possibly help me. Then the camera moves to the side, and it's Sanjay and them, and they all look so happy, like they all down and ready to help MJF. And I'm just like, no, no way, not them, not ever. Like, you might as well just take a handicap match against Bullet Club Gold and just not Sanjay and them. No. So before the main event, we do have Roddy with the Kingdom. Now he ends up calling Adam Cole, and he's like, Adam, can you believe that we're being nice to MJF, but he still won't pick us to be his partners? Now, he sounds so freaking annoying saying all this. But Adam Cole is just like, shut the hell up, and ends up hanging up on him. And I'm just like, okay, he's annoying. I get it. Everybody has a friend that's slightly annoying, but you gotta show them some love too. He is a horrible friend. Roddy, you don't really need him in your life. Alright, you guys, main event time. We have Bullet Club Gold versus MJF and the Acclaim. Yes, you guys know this was coming. Obviously, it was coming. MJF comes out, and he is decked out in pink, and I like it. I'm cool with it. He got a Sesame shirt on, and he also has a pink Burberry scarf on. It's cute. I'm cool with it. Now, when Max Caster comes out and he's doing his rap, they bleeped whatever the fuck he said for the longest. And I was just like, whoa. Even my daughter caught it, and she was like, how bad could it be? Like, what did he say that was so bad? And I'm just like, I have not the slightest clue what he's saying, but that's the longest bleep I think I've ever heard on television. Now, the match is decent. Also, it's Billy Gunn's birthday, so what better way to celebrate your 60th birthday being in the ring with your sons and you're whooping their ass. Now, I actually really like this. Another thing that kind of took me for a little bit of a surprise was the commentators talking about Billy Gunn's sons, and they seem surprised to see that they are using Billy Gunn's moves and also Road Dogg's moves. And I'm just like, so y'all never watched the Guns matches before? They've been always doing that. And that's something I've mentioned several times on my channel about how I don't see it as copying. I see it as they're emulating their dad and their dad's former partner, who they most likely grew up idolizing. So they've been doing this for a long time. So Excalibur and them, what are y'all surprised about? Now, they keep MJF out this match for the absolute longest. They're teasing us, and especially not wanting to have MJF in the ring with Jay White because it's on site and they would literally kill each other if these two were tagged in at the same time. Now, we do get a point in this match where all four of the members from MJF team are in the ring, and there's an opportunity for a four-way scissor here, and they're actually going for it. But then Bullet Club Gold, they ruined it, and they end up pulling everybody apart, and the crowd is booing. They want to see a four-way scissor. And let me tell you, if y'all didn't know I was talking about wrestling, y'all would think this is a totally different thing here. Now, we finally do get MJF in this ring, and everybody's loving it. He's our scumbag. However, though, Jay White, he get up in there. He gets tagged in. And he ends up getting the win for his team. Now, I'm not going to lie. I kind of saw MJF team winning here because that would definitely get the feel-good moment for everybody who's watching because it's the baby faces or whatever. But I guess when you look at it, it makes a little bit more sense for the heels to take the win here. And they go and attack MJF after the match, which I'm not surprised about. And then the Acclaim are trying to help things out here to keep the number games down. However, we have MJF and Jay White in the ring alone. Jay White is holding the Triple B for whatever reason. He's not giving it back, but we're going to get it back. At Full Gear, we're getting it back. Now, he's waiting. He's waiting for MJF to get up, and then he's going to strike him with the title. Now, MJF gets up, and here is Jay running towards him with the title, but then Max Caster gets in the ring and shoves MJF out the way, and he volunteers as tribute, and he gets smacked in the face with the Triple B. Now, Bullet Club Gold, they end up getting up out of there. They don't want no more problems. They've done enough. So now, We have Billy Gunn, we have Anthony, and Maxwell, he there too, but they're all checking up on him and making sure that Max Caster is okay after being hit by the title. Now he's laying flat on the ground and everybody's feeling some type of concern for him. I'm not concerned, he's fine. Now, just when you think that he's hurt and probably won't be able to move, he puts his two fingers up like this and he wants to get scissored by MJF. And MJF was like, you know what? I don't get paid enough to do this shit. I'm leaving. But then Billy Gunn pulls him and he's like, he just sacrificed himself for you. You better go over there and fucking scissor him. And he literally says this. This is not even me putting this in there. And I'm just like, okay, Billy, we hear you. We hear you. Now, honestly, he was like, you know what? I'll do it because he sacrificed himself for me. Or, Billy, it's your birthday. I'll do it for you. Whatever the reason was, they end up doing a four-way scissor. And it seems like everybody in the crowd goes home happy. It's whatever. Now, look, the storyline with the Acclaim is really, really predictable. But it is funny, though. So it's entertaining, and I'm cool with it. Now, I don't know what's going to happen at Full Gear. I really do hope MJF ends up retaining. Obviously, I'm probably being a little bit biased here. But I still feel like there's more to see here. Because obviously, there's a lot of other people who wants to get their hands on the titles. And those people are making this story interesting as well. Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Hobbs, everybody else that want to be in the picture. That whole thing is interesting. So I still want to see MJF retaining this title at Full Gear. Either way, I do think that this episode was kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's all right. I'm really hoping for better. Like, after what we got with Collision, it was so good. I was hoping Dynamite would be somewhat close. But, maybe next week. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back tomorrow with Ring of Honor. Bye.